Okay, so at what point did you start getting closer to the Lucchese crime family? Because, like we said earlier, your dad was a made man.
Correct. So my father was a made guy with a certain faction of the Lucchese family. I then got close with a different faction of the Lucchese family, which was the Brooklyn crew in Bensonhurst.
Well, with your dad being a made man, did he want you to get into that life? And could you have just gone through your dad to be a made man yourself, or did he not want that for you?
My father never wanted that for me. I don't think any dad should want that for their kids. But my father was dead against it, never wanted that life for me. But I guess he couldn't stop it either. He was inactive for a long time. So he really had no say whether to, he had no say in it. So he really couldn't stop it.
Okay, so now you're hanging out with the Lucchese's on the Brooklyn side of things, and a situation happened with a bouncer.
That's right.
Talk about that.
Well, I was close with another made guy from the Lucchese family out of the Bronx faction. His name was John Petroselli. And John Petroselli was in a nightclub up in Westchester somewhere one night, and this bouncer disrespected him by throwing him out of the place, whatever he did. John had come down to Little Italy and asked me if I would do him a favor to shoot the guy, not to kill him, just to shoot him in the leg. So I told him I would do it for him. We went up to Westchester, he pointed the guy out, and I capped him in the leg.
Okay. Have you ever shot anyone before at this point?
Yes. I've shot people before that, and I shot at people, but nobody died. Thank God nobody died.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before that situation, you've actually shot at people. What were those situations around?
Well, there were beefs that a cousin of mine had. It was a problem maybe that I had. It was my own stuff. I had a cousin that was being held hostage in a project because he was dating this girl, and there was a bunch of kids downstairs getting ready to beat him up with bats and stuff like, So he called me up, and I went there and, shot at all the kids, all the guys over there were getting ready to beat him up and got him in the car and get him out of that neighborhood. Another friend of mine called me up. He had a problem. I went and shot at a couple of people to get him out of the situation. So it was stuff, it was shootings I was involved in, but not mob related. It was either a problem that I had on my own or a problem that a cousin of mine had or a friend of mine had that called me for help.
Okay. So by the end of your teens, you were actually used to shooting your gun multiple times.
Yes.
During any of those instances, did the police ever come arrest you? Did anyone point you out? Anything else like that?
No, I never got caught. The closest time was when I was in a nightclub and my girl was going we were in a VIP lounge. My girl was going to the bathroom and the guy made a pass at her. And I decided to pull a gun out and threw a shot at his head. Luckily, she pushed my hand, so just missed his head. And that was the closest it came because I almost got caught for that one because it was a, packed nightclub. But I was lucky to get out. The bouncers knew me. Everybody knew me in the place.
Okay. So by 1991, you actually become a made man in the Lucchese family. Now, that's a very big deal. Like, what led up to you actually becoming a made man? You were like an associate leading up to it?
That's right. Yeah. I was an associate that was on record with the Brooklyn crew. Mainly Vic and Gaspipe. Vic Amuso and Anthony Castro.
Okay, so being an associate for the Lucchese's, what type of stuff were you doing for them, and what made them feel confident that okay, this guy should be a made man?
Broke some arms and legs for them. Went and would go on a hit for them. Would pretty much do anything that they wanted done. So they knew I was ready to go. Whatever they needed me for.
Okay, so breaking of the arms and legs. Can you talk about those situations?
Yeah, there was a time where another crime family beat one of our guys up, an associate, beat him up really bad, put him in the hospital. So Gas Pipe had told us that we need to go back and, get even for him. And it so happened there were two guys when we went, and we went in there and I broke their both arms and legs with a pipe.
Okay. What about going along on hits?
Well, there was one hit that I was on, couple of hits, but I pled guilty to all of that stuff. I don't think we have enough time in the interview to go through everything. I'm going to be getting into it more in depth on my podcast. People tune in and stuff. Frank Gioia Jr. podcast. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I pled guilty to it. RICO murders and conspiracy to murders, and did my time. But to go over each stuff is kind of, we don't have enough time for it.
Okay, fair enough.